Hey guys, William here with Patriot Containers. Those last 3 days, maybe even 4 days of just doing back-to-back videos of pricing across the United States and doing those videos was it was mental. Anyways, it was something that I've never done before, and I don't think I'm going to be doing that every month. I'll try to find a pattern maybe to keep that up. To stay relevant and getting the information out that's accurate pricing for good containers. But yeah, that was time consuming and I'm glad it's over. I want to get back on track of bringing useful information about the cargo container industry to you. If you're finding my YouTube channel that's exposing the dark side of this industry that I'm in. I started selling containers 13 years ago. I used to work for companies that were bad, so I know exactly how they operate. I've owned Patriot Containers for 11 years. My motto is very simple. It's tell somebody the truth, deliver on the right day, and if your customer bought a used container, show up with a good used container. If they bought a new one, show up with obviously a perfect new one. It's that easy. The problem with me expressing that is 90% of cargo container companies can't do this right. And what they do is they lie to make sales. That's how they grow. And then they have terms and conditions on their website that basically lets them get away with anything that they do wrong to you, and there's nothing you can do about it other than getting a crappy container, a crappy service. And if you want to get out of that sale or your container, you're stuck. You're either stuck with the container or you lose thousands of dollars. And the point of this video is I do a lot of research. I've been watching these horrible companies for years. And sorry, I keep getting emails coming in. And I've been watching these horrible companies evolve. I've watched these horrible companies, especially after COVID, just get worse and worse and worse. And I'm looking at it going, man, I can't believe. I literally just got off the phone with a shipping line that I buy from. I've been buying from them for 10 years. And we were talking about these Pinocchio rookie companies and reading their terms and conditions, and even the shipping lines that have read the terms and conditions on these websites, they're like, we cannot believe it. We can't believe that these companies are doing this to the customers. I'm the only one on YouTube that's bringing this industry awareness, whistleblowing, and exposing the dark side of this cargo container industry. It's always been shady. If you're looking for a container and you're watching this video, you have a 90% chance of going with a Pinocchio rookie company that's going to rip you off. It's very hard to find a good company. That being said, somebody found me on YouTube the other day, and he's calling to pick my brain, or, we were just having a normal conversation. He goes, hey, I just bought from this company and they showed up yesterday. And the company he bought from was one of the very, very, very few good companies to buy from. And I told him, I said, man, you are lucky you found that company. I could have made the same sale and provided the same service. It's just that he is so lucky he didn't get snatched up by the 90% of scammers out there ripping their customers off. And I told him, I said, look, that guy, I know the owner, I know him very well, I know his business. They are a very, very respectable, dependable, accountable company. And he goes, yeah, I'm happy with their service. He goes, I want more containers. What can you do? Well, here's how I feel about stealing other people's business. I have morals and I have standards. The Pinocchio rookie companies will do whatever it takes to sabotage another business's, they'll do whatever it takes to make a sale. That plain and simple. So, but that's because they have no morals and standards. They believe in lying, and they believe in their company more than their customer. Now, back to, so this customer yesterday, or it was actually 2 or 3 days ago, it was in the middle of doing these videos, and he's like, yeah, I watched almost all your videos, which I don't believe. That I have so many videos. I don't, he, I, you know, I don't think anybody's going to watch all my videos. But if you watch 2, 3, or 4 of my videos, you're going to know me, you're going to know Patriot Containers, and you're going to be educated on what these horrible companies are doing to you guys. There's a point of this video, and I'm glad to get back onto these educational awareness videos. And I'm here to tell you that the companies that make it sound like they're the biggest companies in America are the worst companies in America. 100%. Now, the reason I know that is you got to listen with what they're saying. We're nationwide. We're the most reviewed. We have lifetime warranties, and if you don't like your container in 30, 60, 90 days, you can get a full refund. Well, they can say that on the phone. The terms and conditions on their website says something else. And you might want to read it before you put your trust into a lying salesperson trying to make a commission, okay? Now, there more confirmation. These companies that haven't been around that long have the record most complaints you'll ever read in your life. It's just a fact. You guys need to research who you're buying from. That being said, these biggest companies, and again, I just had this conversation on the phone with a shipping line about 10 minutes ago. It's amazing that the worst companies you guys can buy from all say, hey, we're a part of this organization, and we're a part of this organization, and we're accredited here and accredited there, and we sponsor this and sponsor this. I became BBB accredited 4 or 5 months ago. I've been in business for 11 years, and in 11 years, I don't have a single complaint from an actual buyer of mine at all. And I challenge anybody to research Patriot Containers. If you find a negative complaint on my business, you need to read it, because that person did not buy a container. And I've sold 15 to 20,000 containers. And the reason I don't have complaints is I tell the truth, I deliver good containers, and I show up on the right day. And if there's a freak problem that occurs that's totally out of my control, I don't shift blame and shift it to the customer's fault and then charge them money for something that they haven't done. That's what the Pinocchio rookie companies are doing to you guys. And it's amazing to me that these types of companies are all affiliated with this sponsor, this organization, and all this stuff. So anyways, about 4 or 5 months ago, I called the Better Business Bureau, and I said, hey, how is it you guys can give these companies, and there's like 3 main ones that are just the shittiest companies to buy from. And they all think they're the biggest companies. All the crappiest companies to buy a container from are the ones that think they are the only ones that are the biggest. Well, guess what? Going back to 13 years ago, they all say the same thing. We're the biggest. We're the best. We're this. We're this. We're this. They are a small broker that has one location, and then sales reps that are 1099 across the United States that on their terms and conditions, they don't have to honor anything that sales rep has told you. So those sales reps that you guys are buying from, they don't know with what the company is purchasing for you. They don't know when your container's going to be delivered because they're not doing it. They're closing you as a sale. So back to the BBB. I contacted the BBB and I was like, how is it you guys can give these companies an A rating when they have insane amounts of complaints on your website? It's just, look, people either believe me or you don't. I'm not making this into a sales pitch. I'm bringing industry awareness to a cargo container industry that is broken and it's getting worse. And I'm sick of it because these companies are lying to you guys to make sales, okay? That being said, so I know what a good company does and what a bad company does is because I research those companies. And So I'm talking to a lady, and at the time I'm talking to a lady at the BBB, I was not accredited, okay? And I never wanted to be. I didn't really care because I care about my service, I care about my customers, and I care about my business, and it that doesn't mean anything, and I'll tell you why. Why is it the worst companies that you can buy from are BBB accredited? Why? Well, the lady that I talked to at the Better Business Bureau was very simple and blunt about it. You pay a monthly fee to the Better Business Bureau. You can get as many complaints as you want, okay? If you ignore your complaints and don't answer them, now that doesn't mean resolve. It just means answer. So if you can have a customer's horror story, and I advise you guys to read these because these companies have done something wrong to their customer and they're not fixing it, and they totally screwed over their customers. So this customer can write an insane amounts of bad information of what this company did to that actual buyer. And the company has to respond. If they don't respond, it will affect their score and they'll lose their A rating. But they don't have to resolve it or fix it. They just have to respond. And that's what the lady at Better Business Bureau told me. So it doesn't make sense to me. Why does the worst companies in America that rip off their customers constantly, why do they have an A rating at BBB? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. So after I'm talking with this lady and I'm telling her, look, I've been in business for 11 years. I don't have a single complaint on my business and I do the right thing for my customers. She goes, oh, you should be BBB. I'll get you BBB accredited in 2 hours. And I was like, I just don't care about that. And she's like, no, you should do it. It'll help. If you ever watch my videos, I could say, this is William at Patriot Containers and I'm accredited by the BBB. I just don't say that. You know, if you want to look into it, you can. But I also don't have a single complaint on the Better Business Bureau either. But yeah, it's just kind of weird that the worst companies in America were affiliated with this sponsor and this organization. And so you click on the organization that they're sponsored by, basically because they pay them money so they can put the stupid little logo on their website. But then you click on it, and not only is this company shitty, but all the other shitty companies pay them money too so they can put this little logo on their website. And basically it's like name dropping. We're this, we're this, we're this, we're this. You know what they are? The shittiest companies in America. That's what they are. And they have the most complaints. So the whole point of this video is the biggest companies that make it sound like we're a part of this, we're a part of this, we're BBB, we're this, we're a sponsor of this, and we go to the conventions. Those are the fucking worst companies to buy from. That's the whole point of this video. And I literally just got off the phone with a shipping line, and we were talking about that. All they do is pay these companies money so they can say that to you on the phone. It doesn't change anything about their business. They are the worst companies in America to buy from, and they will rip you off. And if you don't believe me, you should read into the complaints. You should listen to what they're saying. We're nationwide. We're the most reviewed. We have lifetime warranties. We have all these money back refunds if you don't like your container. Sounds great. You gotta read their terms and conditions on their website, because the terms and conditions on their website is the truth. And the truth is what they're not telling you that. It just has to be there. And when you read it and it makes sense, from the very beginning, you place an order with them, they can charge you a cancellation fee, right? And they have done nothing. So you can't cancel unless you want to lose some money. If you buy a good used container or a cheap wind and water tight container, and it shows up and it has holes and you refuse that container, they're going to keep your delivery money, their restocking fee, and a cancellation fee, okay? Now, if they show up with an 100-year-old rust bucket, and I'm talking about cancer rust. There's a video on my channel called, Would You Be Happy with These Containers? And if you scroll down and find it, it's a Pinocchio. And if you click on that video, all those pictures are from customers that left complaints that actually post pictures, because a lot of people post complaints on these companies, but they don't post pictures. But I can read it and feel sorry for everything that this person has gone through, that these companies did. They are not accountable for anything. And they should be ashamed of themselves for running a business of basically ripping off American citizens in this country. It makes me sick. And I stand against it. And the whole point of my videos is I'm glad for the last 3 or 4 days I'm done with those pricing videos, so I can get back to educational videos like this. The biggest companies that are all sponsored with these stupid logos on their website, they pay those companies money. They are still shitty container companies. And you got to watch out for these guys. They all say the same thing. We're nationwide. We're the most reviewed. We have lifetime and 25-year warranties. We have 30, 60, 90-day full refunds. They'll keep 75% of your money if they have to come back and get that container. One company's on their terms and conditions, it says clearly, once we deliver this, we're not coming back and getting it. It's up to you to return it. And they're going to make it impossible with a list of stuff you can't do, so you cannot return that container, which means you're screwed anyways. But you were screwed from the very beginning with trusting these companies. So anyways, guys, that's it. It's Friday the 3rd. So glad I'm done with those pricing videos. We'll see how that works. It's something else. Number one, Patriot Containers is the only one exposing the dark side of this industry. I'm exposing all the Pinocchio rookie companies, and I'm bringing education and awareness to with how bad this industry is getting. And I'm sick of it, to be honest. That's why I'm doing it. I also started doing pricing across the United States. We'll see how that goes. That was very time consuming. I might not do it again. We'll see how that happens, or what happens with that. But anyways, guys, that's it. Back to industry awareness. I try to make these videos, and I've talked to people that find my YouTube channel, and I ask them, hey, I like constructive criticism. What do you have to say for me? People want me to make this more of a commercial, and I need to tell you with what I do good. Well, here's what I do good. I tell you the truth. I don't sell shitty products, and I show up on the right day. That's it. It's very simple. I don't know how many videos I can make about that. People say, well, you didn't say your phone number. I don't want my videos to seem like this is advertising. If I make it sound like it's advertising, you might miss my point of telling you the truth about what I'm trying to help you with. I'm not a greedy person. I don't mind if you buy from a good company that's not Patriot Containers. I do mind when you're being lied to by these Pinocchio rookie companies that literally don't care about you. They're horrible companies. And I hope someday that a state attorney general looks into these companies and either regulates them or shuts them down. Because it's borderline criminal of what's happening to these customers, what they do to their customers. It's wrong. It's wrong. And I stand against it, and I'm the only one doing something about it. I hope other good companies that actually do the right thing somehow join me and doing something about it. Because right now it's only me, and that's fine. You know, I like being original. I like being different. If this is the shitty company over here, I want to be over here. You know, if this is their shitty container price, I don't want to be there. I want to be here a little bit. So it's something you like. You know, a lot of these companies, they can't even tell you with what day your container is going to arrive. You know, and more power to those companies. They must have like really, really good salespeople, but they're lying. They don't know what the company's purchasing for you. They don't know when your container is going to arrive. They also don't care. All they need to do is make that sale, and you're screwed from the beginning because they're going to get a cancellation fee. The more trust you put into these companies as time goes on before you get your container, the more money you lose. That's the thing. And it's just wrong. I'm sick of it. I'm doing something about it. So anyways, guys, that's it. Happy Friday, the 3rd of October. Have a good one. Goodbye. And more educational videos will be coming. Thanks. Bye.